what's up, everybody? Thank you all for tuning in real quick for an
Extra life from us.
extra live from us after days of not doing anything. But it's worth it, and I want to make something very clear. And that's what we're gonna do this about, and some other things that I feel that are important. Now, by no means was that live earlier trying to throw shade on anybody, any other creator. We were actually, speaking, you know, positively about him going, JLR going out there and looking at these areas, the search areas down at Light Hollow Road. That's, we were there in October. We never said we cleared it. We said we searched it. Took a couple of days to search that whole area. And, you know, it's been months. So, if somebody's back down there and they're looking again, kudos. That's a great thing. More people involved, better, right?
And the more eyes on a place, the better.
100%. That, I didn't want it to get taken out of context. And because the live was 2 hours and 2.5 hours long, some people don't listen all the way through to get the idea of what it was, what we were talking about. Now, we had spoke on certain things for months and months and months and couldn't put an area to the things we were talking about. That's another reason we covered that and did that live. Now, I wasn't privy to something on the first live that I now am until it was brought to my attention. I don't care about people uh, you know throwing shade or anything just on us, but at least if you're gonna bash us and hate on us, be accurate. You know what I mean?
What was it you said the other day? Do your research.
Do your research.
You should know your opponent.
Yeah.
The way that you put it.
Yeah, know your opponent. Study your opponent. Know everything, so therefore you can be accurate on the information that you're at least talking about. But that's what I do have a problem with. Um, and if you didn't catch to see our video from earlier, I couldn't find the clip, and I don't know where the live is where it was talked about. But I've left a comment under JLR's video, just kind of telling him, hey, uh, and no shade towards the local down there either. And we talked about that in multiple different ways during that live. He might not have known. He says 8 months. He had only been living down there in that area for 8 months. He said he came over from another holler or something that he lived at before, and then he's from Indiana. Now,
when we were searching, we were out there in October, kind of earlier in October, 11th and 12th. So that was
thank you, Mary.
months, closer to 9 months now. So we don't know if he was even living in that area at the time that we were out there searching.
Exactly. Hey, people that are just coming in and didn't catch the live, bro. Thank y'all for joining us. Thank you, Mary Me, for becoming a member. We appreciate it. But it just got on. I wanted to catch it before it took off into something that it's not. I encourage the people that are going out there and being boots on the ground and are searching and looking into areas, continue to do so, because there's pros and cons to this. When you talk about certain areas that have been searched and that are cleared, now we never said we searched and cleared that area. It's not our responsibility to. But if law enforcement searches and clears an area, it's good not to show or talk about that area, because somebody who could possibly, move something or put something in an area, that has already been searched, or what they, think has been searched and cleared. That's one reason why it's very good to be tight-lipped about it, and that's the reason we were for so long. But I'm actually happy about him speaking to to Brandon down there and the local, because he was able to back up a lot of things that we've talked about for months. He talked about his cousins and his cousin's friend who ride the motorcycles back there and stuff. We've told you that story that backed that up. About the guys on motorcycles that showed up on both sides of us when we were out there, and it was a very unsettling situation. That backed that up. Let's see what else. You got anything to add to it? I'm trying to put together these slides real quick. If you want to add something to that.
Sorry, I was reading something else. No, I mean, it's just, I think people took us wrong because we were not trying to, in any way, shape, or form, put anybody else down. And that wasn't at what we were doing. We were just trying to say, we can back people up on this. We were out there months ago, and this is what we experienced, basically. Right?
Right. Now, one thing that I do have, sorry, I'm sitting here trying to put this together for you so I can show you. It wasn't clear earlier because I was showing it on my phone, but I'm going to make it clear for everybody right now. And I can show you from my phone when I was showing the dates and times and the areas that we were at and when. That's what I'm going to do right now. Give me just a second. And one more, and I'm done. Perfect. Bear with me because I can download this and pull it up in slides in 2 seconds. Okie dokie. So what I'm going to show you here is these are what I showed on the previous slide, but it was on my phone and it wasn't very clear for people to see it through the screen. So I went ahead and did screenshots and did a slide of it so that people will be able to see what I'm talking about. Here we go. All right, downloaded that. Okay, sorry guys. All right, so the person, I'm not even going to mention them because they're always being hateful towards us. And she thinks that this creator thinks that, she's very misinformed. And she thinks that when I say things back to her, when she says things to us, that I'm just showing her where the thing she said was inaccurate. That's it. No harm, no foul until she talks about her family. Besides that, it's not personal. Moving past that, no drama. But this is one thing she got wrong. She was like, I left the comment under JLR's video, this video we showed earlier, and I said, we had cleared this area and we had. I said, where was it?
So read this because this was earlier in the chat, and I was going to wait until you brought this up to show you.
What is that?
Read it.
I got blocked for that crap.
Yeah, for the.
Oh, did you? Who did? Brianna?
Yeah.
No. Who?
Not here, over there.
Oh, over on that one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So on that comment though, I said, we actually got Need a Diver to go in there and clear some ponds back there. And
obviously she has not listened to like anything of ours because we have talked about Need a Diver not only back when we were searching out there and they were clearing ponds, but we have talked about them to this day on multiple lives.
She was thinking that we said that we still needed a diver to go out there and clear those ponds, and I was like, no,
ma'am.
I found it pretty hilarious, that part in general. And that's, hold on, is this that's different slides. Hold on. Anyway, so these are the slides that I showed earlier from out there in that search area. Remember this? We showed this picture. This was from out there on Light Hollow Road.
Yeah, that exact location.
Here's the pond out there that we're going to be talking about.
It's one of the ponds.
One of the ponds. This is the smaller one that's actually in that area. We went over that on the first one.
I wasn't here.
I know. But
yeah, sorry guys, I didn't mean to dip out on y'all earlier, but like I said, I had to take my daughter to gymnastics, so
that's a jacket that was back there on, in that area. Let me find the slides I just made. Okay. Oh, it's gonna make me do it this way.
who said what? Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, so that, I couldn't help but to laugh at that, and that's no shade, but we're not talking about needing a diver to go out there. Need a diver is a entity, a company of divers. It's need dash a dash diver.
That's just their little quirky name, and I like it. I think it's funny.
I hope you guys can see this. I'll make it full screen real quick. Okay, so this is what I was showing on my phone earlier, just to bring some receipts to what I'm talking about. So this picture was taken October 11th, 2021, 1:20 p.m. Down here in the bottom in the green, it shows a picture and it shows on a map. When you click on that, it shows you on a map where that picture was taken and in that area. So that right there is Light Hollow Road. Sorry. That right there is Light Hollow Road. This is almost close to that pond. And that's where that picture was taken out there. Okay. This picture, just of how thick the foliage is. Monday, October 11th, 2021 at 12:02 p.m. Click on the map down here. If you have an iPhone, you're familiar with this. Right here. Now this shows Light Hollow Road, and it shows that we are way back in here. When this picture was taken, way back in here. So that brings, this is showing you where we had, where we were at, where we were searching, and when. Now,
and that was just to show that we were out there because somebody had said, so another creator allegedly said that if we really went out there and searched, that we needed to show proof,
right,
and videos or something, but
right. Now,
but we had already released a video from back there.
Somebody also said it's time for y'all to compare your excuse me for 1 second. Let me let Allie by.
I'll be right back. This time I'm not leaving for good.
Okay. So, all right. Then it was said that, hey, y'all compare your videos out or something. I have no intention of doing that. I don't need to. There's things that we went back there and filmed and searched, and we turned certain objects over to law enforcement. That's another thing that this person said. I would play this video. I might play Chronicle. Hold on. If Chronicles of the Shady doesn't mind, I might play their video real quick. Give me just a second. I'll pull that up. Just to give you an idea. Okay. Let me pull this up real quick and then we'll. Guys, if one of my mods don't care to share Chronicles of the Shadies link in the chat, I'd greatly appreciate it. You can check out that video there.
Keep it coming, crappy cases. You know, I'm very easy on you guys. Totally stupid. This is somebody that has an ego issue and is butthurt that Jonathan got to check.
I'm known in the streets from Florida to Tennessee, baby. Come get you some. Come get you some. Come get you some.
And not only that, those PIs you're talking about, we're looking for a grave, not a child, on top of the earth, like as if they walked off and got lost, like you keep stating.
Hours we've put into this investigation and how much time has been spent exploring every possibility, walk-off, abduction, other foul means. And I think that's the thing to keep in mind is it's still really wide open as to the what. We try to stay away from developing theories and just all facts.
Also, I want to be very clear. I'm just showing the things that was said on this, nothing else. And I couldn't find it anywhere else but these videos of what was stated. So I just wanted to be able to answer and show where it was said and then answer to it. We've never said that definitively that Summer Wells walked off. We've never stood behind that. We said that law enforcement has put emphasis on that when they talk about it, that there's no evidence pointing it anywhere. And the PIs, I don't understand where she's getting. They're searching for a grave. They're searching for anything. They've not definitively said what. They're just looking for anything. That's why they had Chris from First to Deploy and other resources out there. So hold on a second.
Who listens to them anymore? Haven't they lost enough credibility at this point that they don't know what the heck they're doing? They don't know what the heck they're talking about. So they actually cleared this area. Crappy cases. I don't know. So what does he say? They need to be back there. Dive in some of the ponds that are back there, an area that are not seen from Google Map, and so they've been using Google Map to search. Way to go, Cam. Started off on the wrong foot, and since then you've been on blubbering and crying like a crybaby on every channel that will have you talking about Bullhorn Betty. Keep it coming, cracking faces. You know, I've been very easy on you.
All right. So besides that, that's not what I was trying to bring forth and bring to light. But the things that were said there, very inaccurate. Now, we didn't use Google Maps to search. We're saying that you can't see certain ponds and bodies of water back there from Google Maps. Therefore, you wouldn't know they were even there unless you're a local or unless you have a very good idea of the area. Now, this is where I get at. It's not, I just want, so she's very close with JLR. I don't want the wrong impression put out. That's not what we were saying. We were trying to, back him up and say, no, maybe they weren't clear. This place was searched. That's the only thing we were doing and giving him kudos. Thank you for going out there. Good. It's a good, good thing. It's a good thing that area is being searched again. That area is so vast and so wide. There's so much that is, that you could have 1,000 people or more search hand in hand, elbow to elbow for a month and a half straight, and you would not get a tenth of it. You wouldn't even get, hardly any of it covered. And just so how easy it is to miss something with that kind of terrain and the leaves and the foliage. That's not what we were saying. Thank you. So that was one reason that I wanted to share that, because it's so easy when you have somebody that like her that is saying these things that are inaccurate. It gives a bad impression to her listening audience. That's not true. That's not accurate. And I actually spoke kindly of them on the previous live and wasn't even wasn't even aware that she had said these things. This is the problem. You can't, it's like, you can't reach out to another creator, even if you're trying to be, um, kind and supportive without others saying that it's with ill intent. And that's not fair. And, that's, again, at least when you come at somebody and you hate and bash on them, be, at least be accurate with it. That's all I have on that. Now, there's another thing I have right here that's important to me and I want to talk about. So she she says in another bunch of clips, and I can't find the whole thing. She says, you turned stuff over to law enforcement, and it should tell you something, cracking cases. If they don't say anything back, it means that that what you found was not, didn't apply to the case or wasn't relevant to the case. That's not true. Have you heard that law enforcement is in the practice of telling people that, potential evidence that you turn over is either, uh, you know, good evidence or bad evidence? No. And especially in the Summer Wells case, uh, law enforcement, Sheriff Lawson, TBI have been very tight-lipped about everything. They haven't spoke on anything at all. Yeah, that's not accurate at all, and that's not fair to come at people with. Now, um, JLR, now if you want to take our word for it, I was going to say good job. You've been, keeping the roads hot, and you're down there very, very often. You're a single guy, I assume, and have no kids or whatnot, and you have the ability to do that. Now, as for the fall of last year, we were on mini searches every day for a 5-week period, and had got to work with first to deploy, who was trained and worked with EquiSearch, and is uh, close connected with Gene Robinson of EquiSearch. You can go back and check all those videos out. And that's the thing too. She says that we never searched and we never looked into anything. A lot of people that aren't familiar with us can go back and look in our video section. You can see everything we've done from the beginning to the end. Everything we've ever done is in that video section. So, Robert Chenery, oh, you're back, buddy? I hate you're still dealing with that problem, man. Oh, man. Y'all say a prayer for Robert, man. He's dealing with some bad issues. I did that to him on one live, and it was funny. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that, Rebecca. Let's make sure. Casella. We can't all work together, and we all can't be boots on the ground. We all can't, for the people that are have that availability to be out there and be able to search and stuff. People can never come together or search or be able to brainstorm and with each other's information if people can't ever get along, and people are always throwing people under the bus. That's a problem. And that's why. Come on around your phone. Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry, I had to let her back in our small cubicle here. Yeah, but I mean that's the problem. We're never going to be able to move forward and work together. Now, I did say on the earlier live. Now there's been a lot of misinformation that's come from that camp over there. It's been a lot of things that are not true, and I just pray that moving forward, that the things become more accurate. I don't know. I haven't followed a lot, but when they first came in early on and December of 2021, late December 10th is when we first ran into. There was a lot that they didn't know a lot about this case. They had came from the Gabby Petito case and came up here, and were not very informed on it. I just ask that they do be informed on the people that were here, the people that were doing things from early on, and see what areas have been looked at, see what areas have been talked about, and things that have been done. It's very good practice to know what the people are doing and different things. If you're going to be into, especially in a boots on the ground thing, you're going to be wanting to know different areas that were searched, different things that have been talked about, different things that have been located, things that have been of a very, important nature. Good practice for that. That's all I'm trying to convey, I guess, if that makes sense. I just wanted to be very, very clear that what we were talking about earlier was not in a ill will towards JLR or towards Brandon, the local, or anything. I encourage anybody. You heard what Brandon said. Any people that want to go down there and search, and people that want to, he said that they had permission to. Now, be careful, though. I don't know if Brandon has that say so to give people permission, because the people that gave permission to the searchers we were with and accompanied in that area was a different person. So just to be clear on that. Where did I miss? I just saw something.
I bet every time you say a statement like that, all the mods go, because they're like, oh no, what's he going to bring up that we've already?
No. No. It's nothing bad. So I wanted to cover this. And if y'all aren't familiar with it, so y'all know about the thing that's unlocked to be able to buy other subs, and for subs to buy other subscribers memberships for a channel, you got to click on the money sign down there, and it gives you an option to do so down there. You got to opt into it. Now, I didn't know if y'all were familiar with that, but that's where that's been unlocked. I thought it was for the creator to be able to give memberships, but it's not. I don't know how this is working, but it gives subscribers the ability to help other subscribers with memberships and so on. All right. No, Tiggy Bear, what's going on? What's happening?
We're not going to talk about that because that's the boys. We're not talking about the boys.
Yeah. No, I think she's talking about his oldest son.
The oldest, or?
Are you talking about Don Jr., Don Wells Jr.? Tiggy Bear, is that who you're talking about?
So I think that she's referring to the oldest of Don and Candace's together.
Oh, okay. Now, I don't know about that. I don't want to go into detail. It's a bunch of rumors into that, but that doesn't mean that somebody has to leave because of it.
No.
That's what they were saying. They said, sorry, I'll be leaving. Trevor Smith says ban It's man. At least I'm not a sniffing and a snorting. Okay, that's cool, man. Trevor, I'm sorry you are having that problem. I don't know what band spam is, but we'll be praying for you, dude. Making sure that we're on the same isn't true at all. He actually, it's a family and is doing very well. Thank you. Okay, yeah, that was rumor, and we're not going to state anything about the boys that were taken out of the home because they are minors. They have no say so or no. They have no relative.
We're just not.
Just not real. It's we're not going to discuss them. I'm not going to say they're not relative to this because they are, but we're not going to discuss them because they're minors and they are. Basically the court put a gag order, and it's not. It's not. I think very responsible or respectful for us to do so.
Right.
Right. Hey, Ava, thank you. Thank you, Lucas Cottle. And listen, you know what? If I don't come on here and we don't back up and say the reasoning for things, I don't want it to get it twisted. We're here to try to work together, and we've done so. We've seen a very different true crime community in the past couple of months. We've seen creators working together that never have before. We've seen people brainstorming and come together, and we've seen things move forward in a different, a different trajectory than it has in the past. And that I'm happy about that. I just ask that that it can stay that way. It's not always hate filled to comment on another creator's comment section and say something. It's not trying to one up anybody by saying, hey, yeah, just to be clear, just so you're on the same page, that area was looked at in October. That's not one upping somebody. That's not trying to hate on somebody for covering a certain thing. That's just trying to be, just to be accurate with everybody talking about certain things and certain uh certain aspects of this case. Now, law enforcement might want to hear what that video had to say from what that local. I don't know if that local has said everything that he said on the video to them. Now, he said he had a run in with them in that area. What did he say? 12 of them came in there, 12 deputies or something.
He said 6.
6 or 12. I don't know the exact. Don't quote me on the exact number, but I don't know. That's very good info. Now, I can tell you something very, very definitive about this area. That's very important. Now, one of the guys on the motorcycles, when he finally pulled up, and I'm speaking about the situation where there were, one motorcycle was on this side, one on the other. I'm going to, so he finally takes his helmet off and he comes and talks to us. Okay. And he, is looking at me the whole time instead of the other person who is licensed and private investigator. Okay. He's talking to him, but he keeps looking at me, and I asked him some things that I already knew the answers to, and I found this to be very, it made me scratch my head. So I'd seen an area up on top of a ridge. I talked about this earlier. It looks like it could possibly be a very small opening to a cave at the very top of this ridge. And, I climbed up to the very top and tried to get as close as possible. Well, it was too steep and muddy, and I kept sliding. And I was afraid I was going to slide down and hurt myself pretty bad. But so I asked him, I said, is there any caves or openings back here that you know of? And he's like, nope, never seen them before. But in that area, there was tracks where the dirt bikes had went up there and been all around where I was. So I knew that if anybody lived back there, that road back there and knew that area well, knew about that. Okay. So second thing that's very very weird is hold drop my wallet, sorry. Um, but another thing that's strange is the things that we located back there, it turned over to law enforcement. Well, they were flagged off. We told those people, hey, don't mess with them, don't touch them. You know, law enforcement's going to be out here to uh, pick up and gather those things that were, you know, that we had taped off as potential evidence. Um, One thing that was said by law enforcement to the other people was that dirt bike tracks had been rode all over it. There was dirt, you know, dirt bikes had rode all over it, and they had left tracks all over it. The items that were turned over, you know, but the one local, and you've heard us talk about this before. This ain't the first time, and we've talked to about it prior to that area in that video by JLR and the Brandon guy local coming out. You know that he says those are his cousins. They ride back there. Um, I wonder why that would happen. Why they would try to do something like that as potential evidence. Now there's been a big question to that area too. What happens back there? You know, stays back there, and people back there are all kin. They're not going to tell on each other. Now I don't know if that's true or not, but that's been the rumor of it. What's another good thing? There was something that was talked about Billy back there. Something about somebody allegedly touching kids at the end of that video about Bill or somebody that's named was back there. Now, before any rumors get spread, now I don't know if there's any validity to that or any truth in those statements. And be careful before, you know, that's strong things to be throwing out on somebody unless it's 100% proven and accurate, right? That's a big claim, and that's a very big what's the word I'm looking for? Accusation and label to place on somebody, and should be 100% backed up before you go public about something like that. That's it. That's
another thing that we need to address. We've gotten multiple messages, and we have for days. We touched on it in the live earlier while I was still here. I don't know if Cam touched on it anymore after I left, but we've gotten multiple messages, comments, all sorts of things about how people are saying Brandon admitted that was his campsite that we found.
Right.
No,
good point.
That is not what he said. He said that there was a campsite that law enforcement had checked out that was his and his girlfriend's. He did not say, or that it was his and he took his girlfriend there. He didn't say that was my campsite that Cam and Allie and Cracking Cases found. That's not what he said. That campsite that we found on that search, well, that Cam specifically found on that search, was not on that property. It was not near that property, really. It wasn't even near the it was on Ben Hill Road. We've showed it to you guys multiple times.
It's actually up above Simpson Road,
and that's on somebody else's property, and it's not even where that property leads into Ben Hill Road on the other side. So it should not be his campground or his campsite. If that was, if it was, then that's
he's odd. Speaking about building, he had a campsite for him and his girlfriend, right. And he said he was building a fort for his son, I think, back there. Well, another part. Right. He's talking about in that general location.
Right. I don't see, just knowing myself where that campsite was, if I was his girlfriend, I would not be wanting to walk all the way through that property, which is not small, guys. It's not
small at all.
I wouldn't be wanting to walk all the way through that property, then across Ben Hill Road and down Ben Hill Road, and then up somebody else's property that you would have to have permission to be on, and then up the side of a hill, which is not really a hill, it's much bigger than a hill, to a the top of a ridge. So I would be upset, but that's just me.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and you can see too, this is what I wanted to add too. Aries Fire says local searching is great, but I hope they educate themselves and follow directions for proper search. Some people are clueless to not touch anything. Very true. You know, you don't get anywhere near it. If you find something that you feel is potential evidence, you back away from it, you flag it, and you immediately call law enforcement to turn it over. If it's something like bones or something like that, you should always have somebody that's very familiar or is has a college degree in the human anatomy to be able to uh, confirm or deny that they're either animal or human. Excuse me, clip. What's that mean? Answer. Read that. What does that mean? No, no disrespect, but how are you for children after how you did Avery, knowing what DV has done to her child? She offered to help you. Do you feel bad? We never said that she wasn't helping. I've waited for the person. This is how that works out. Clip or whoever this is. Let me answer that real quick before I move on. Thank you for that super chat, but let me add this to you. So I called the number, the PI that she said for me to get in touch with. I did so. I left a message. I've not got a return to call back. Now, I tried to go on what information she gave us, and I was appreciative of it. Now, I've not said anything ill towards her or, at all. It's just that I'm
and
just
we
waiting.
won't, because we don't know anything about her.
Know nothing about her, and it's now.
And we know for a fact, because it happens to us every day, that just because somebody says something ill about you, that does not mean that
Negative.
it's true.
Yeah.
So just because somebody else said something negative about her, we know that that does not mean that that's true.
Exactly.
So we're not judging her. We're not saying that will not or have not accepted her help. So that's kind of rude to come into somebody's life and do that.
Right. But
That's just my feelings.
yeah, it is. But we answered it truthfully.
Yeah.
We waited for things to pan out, and then we hold. We see if that's credible or not before we make any. Before we throw all of our chips in. If that makes sense. Anyway, here I'm going to share this with you real quick. This is that area. I shared this earlier. And no, this is not the only way we search. Thank you. Now, it's very important to know, too, Aries Fire, when she added that one part in, is that, this local that's showing JLR around, if y'all haven't watched the whole video, they get lost. They get lost out there, too. And he lives out there. That just shows you how easy it is to get turned around out there. Candy's Cupcakes, she's talking about domestic V is what she's referring to.
Well, the first time, but
What's the second? What are you talking about?
there was another one, but we're not going to do this because,
I haven't seen it.
well,
It hasn't popped up here yet. Okay. Is that all?
oh no, that was another one. Hold on.
All right. So here, let me show you this real quick. So this is the area in question. When in the video we shared earlier. Now this is, if you saw where I was in that one picture taken, we were almost all the way back here. This is Ben Hill Road from the area that's in question, if anybody's not familiar. This is where we were. This is the pond that Brandon took JLR to, right here. They entered in this way and they exited. This is not the pond. Now, need a diver. The search group of divers, they cleared this pond, which is owned by Country Living something. I can't quote it right now, but that's where this is owned. Now, the pond that we took a picture of and showed earlier is back here, this area. The cousins that ride the motorcycles are back here, and his friend, and that's all that. Okay, but this is where they, Brandon's familiar with this area. They enter in here and they went out this way. Now, this is to show you how easy it is to get, flipped around and not know where you're at. They come up through here, this little trench, and come out on this person's driveway. This is a nice house that sits back here on Ben Hill Road. There's that. And to show you, it comes out right here where Jody Sue property was, that's right behind it. So this is where Jody Sue was. This is the driveway they came out on. See my mouse? This is where Jody Sue's property is. Comes out on Ben Hill, Simpson Road. Now, to give you, this is the campsite this is the general area of where that campsite was that I had located. This is where Brandon and JLR were. It's pretty far. Now, to get from here to Ben Hill, there is a very, very steep incline mountain with 2 wash-offs that come down that you have to climb all the way up to get over.
Very steep.
Now, what we were told when we were back here is this area was used for horses. They ride horses back here.
And we saw many horse prints back there.
Yeah,
while we were searching.
Lots of horseshoe prints and all backing down through there. But okay, so that's where that area is. Let me zoom out so we can get a better aerial. This is the area that was in question in the video. This is where the campsite was that we located. Now, that's a long distance. So if we were to say from here, measure distance, that's a straight line. That's not counting terrain. That's 2,941 feet. It has to be longer than that when you're on ground. Right.
Yeah, going up and down.
To go up that terrain, that mountain, and come down and across through there. But just from, I guess, aerial.
That mountain over there where the campsite was located.
True, that's what I'm saying.
Well, the 2 mountains, so it would make it longer.
Yeah. But I mean, hopefully that just gives you an idea of this too. So not to be mistaken, to be very clear, because there was a lot of people that thought this area was the same area. Anyway, what else you got real quick before we get done? You got anything else? There was something else I wanted to talk about. We took a break, and it's important that we did so for spend time with our kids and family to get away from all this negativity and naysaying on here.
That's something that we didn't do very often early on. And we've started taking more breaks over the last little bit, and it's been very good for our family. And so we will probably continue to do that, but we will always come back, and we will come back strong.
Oh, okay. Is that campsite is the one with the good vantage point? Yes, Ice Queen, that's correct. Clip says DV is Dolly Vision. My apologies. I'm just skeptical now. Skeptical of what? What are you skeptical of? Believe me, no other channel makes. No, I never spoke badly about her on Dolly Vision. I just said what had happened and the reason we were talking and what happened for the facts. I said, thank you for giving me the heads up. From Dolly, I said, thanks for looking out. I take that information in. Thank you, Clip, for asking, but we take that information in and we judge everybody on, how they are to us. We don't judge, but we base our opinion on somebody by how they are to us in this platform, right? And how they are to us, not anybody else. That's neither here nor there. Thank you though. That's all I got to say about that, and that's all I can say on that. So clear that up for good. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate it. And that's why we took. So there's another campsite. No, this is the campsite Lisa Irwin. We've been speaking about one for a good while. I guess we found it around November, end of October, November. Yeah, and he on the video that we covered earlier today on the first live, the local talked about another campsite he had made with him and his girlfriend. That's why there was confusion.
Assume is most definitely not the one that we located.
Yeah,
Assume.
right. We don't know for a fact, but it would. I'm assuming he's talking about in the area where they were at, because that's a very far off property, and that would be on somebody else's property. On Ben Hill Road, and I'm sure people don't want to put themselves any closer to the wells than what they have to.
That, and not only is it on another property, but to get to that property, he would have to go through somebody else's property. So that would, you would have to have permission from multiple property owners to
enter or exit that property. You would have to go through somebody else's.
Have to,
unless you came up that straight sheer cliff like this. I mean, that thing is up and down.
Difficult to do.
Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that. It has my head everywhere, Brianna. We're still catching up. I'm still behind on everything. I didn't know it was going to cause this much mayhem to talk about what we did earlier. I just wanted to cover that and bring a little more emphasis into it because I thought it was important. That's all. Okay, so the lights do. Mary Newman. Yeah, so Frank Light, his brother, they all own horses. Brandon and Jerry. Fred said he had a mule.
And Brianna said it was confirmed about a 7th child as well. And as she was coming off the Kearney in Arkansas, she let it go at birth, and no one would say who the father was other than deceased.
Wow. Thank you, Sweet D. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Alice. Is that how you say it? Elise Golf or Alice? ALISE. Elise or Alice? I hope I'm saying that correctly. Thank you, though. Oh, thank you, Candy's Cupcakes. I appreciate that. If you've been watching us, like I can't go back and show all the things we've talked about this area. I just wanted to show the guys, not the guys, sorry, the subscribers who have watched this from the beginning.
All y'all guys out there.
We could, show you this an area that we couldn't speak about before, and show JLR so they can bring them up to page. Good job. The effort shows, man. That's not what it was about. I think that you've put a lot of effort in, and that should be appreciated.
And he's doing a great job of keeping Summer's name out there.
That's true. Now I'm not going to hate on any of that.
Yeah.
He's kept kept her name out there. He's been everywhere that you can be. Now, the effort, A for effort. He's been all over the place. So nobody's throwing shade on him. Be sure to clip that for all those clip channels out there, clip that. A for effort for JLR, not throwing no shade on that. Now, that's all we're gonna say about that, and just try to get everybody on the same page. That's it. I'm not trying to keep up all, stay on here all night, because that's not what I was trying to do. I just wanted to get on here for a minute. It's been 56 minutes. We'll keep it at an hour. Let's, rerun. What do you want to say?
Wanted to say to Lori Kennedy, she said, I grew up in Middle Tennessee. I loved picking blackberries, but I ate more than I saved. LOL. Little purple fingers and lips. Our kids do the same thing. They love it.
I still think children should be left out of it. Been through enough. Amen. I agree.
And that's why I just would prefer for us to not talk badly of them, because they have been through so much in the last year. We can sit here and talk all day about how much we hurt over summer, and we don't know half of the pain that those boys know, because not only did their sister's just gone out of nowhere, and then on top of that, they were taken away from their parents, who, no matter what you think about their parents, those were their parents. That's all that they knew.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what any of us think about how good they were as parents. That's besides the fact. They were those boys' parents.
We should be very careful is what we say on here, and be very be very conscientious of what they hear and what they say. Right. It's just about being respectful and being adults. They're going to look back on this and see some of the things that people completely just full of hate have said about their mother and father. Now, they might make their own opinions later on in life, but that's not our place to do that.
But the last thing that they need to hear on top of that is people throwing hate towards them.
That's right. Lucas Cottle, thank you. And I agree. I hope so. I hope they looked into it. Now, I can also say some things about the area down there and how long law enforcement took to go pick up things. There's been questions and as to why law enforcement has conducted things the way they have. That's for another show. I hope y'all got a lot out of the last part of earlier's live where I went over the Carly Trent stuff. I'm going to be doing a second part of that to show you guys a lot of things that I haven't been able to show you before. Look into the things that I left off on in there. I can't, like I said, I can't go over all the things that we talked about through this year, but it's a lot, and I think that this, if we all work together, we can get a lot farther. Hopefully, we can keep Summer's case and name out there so that it doesn't go cold. Michael Vaughn's case out there so it doesn't go cold. I hope that we can just continue to move forward in a better, carrying ourselves better than we did the day before, right? To get along.
Right.
I'm sorry that you didn't get the notification. Make sure your bell's set to all.
Did we have more than one thing? More than 3 things today.
What? No, maybe, yeah, because I did a community post, and I probably didn't send a notification out.
Been the third one, right? So we still should have been there, but I don't know. YouTube's funky like that sometimes, and it doesn't send notifications for everything.
Right. All right. Let's just carry ourselves in a better way. Let's pray and get out of here. Lord, thank you for what you do. Thank you for letting us wake up with the breath in our lungs every day. We're not guaranteed it. And Lord, you can tell us our time is up at any second, any minute, any day. But God, thank you for everything you do. Let us be sure to thank you instead of always wanting and asking. God, you're merciful, and you have mercy on us when we don't deserve it. We ask that you put a hedge of protection around Summer, a hedge of protection around Michael Vaughn and all the missing kids in our nation, Lord. We ask that you put a stop, bring what's in the dark to light, and just put law enforcement in the places that can combat against the evil that is going on in our world, against the trafficking, against just the straight works of the enemy. God, we ask that you touch each and every person in this chat that is watching this live in a meet them right where they are. Let them know that you are there, you're real, and you would they can do all things through you who strengthens them. God, thank you for what you do in our lives and having faith in us when we have no faith in you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
That's all I got. Remember, at the end of the day, everybody wants justice.
But justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate.
Remember to put that touch DNA on that like button. That's all we ask. It's a free way to help this channel out, and we appreciate it. I guess that's it. Till next time, keep on cracking. God bless.